Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on Saturday, May 9th, 2026. Right, so we've had quite a benign week of weather this week in early May. We've seen a lot of clouds, some sunshine and a few showers. Nothing much else to say, and temperatures about average or a bit below. Now this morning, Saturday morning, it's a very messy picture. You've got a lot of zones of weather. So in Scotland and Northern Ireland and parts of Ireland as well, we have northerly winds, quite strong northerly winds actually, and these are bringing a cooler feel and some showers into the exposed northern coasts, but elsewhere some decent sunshine. Now we also have this band of clouds and light rain stretching from Norway down through the North Sea and into northern England. Now, for many areas of England and Wales, we have sunshine, clear skies, and a warmer air mass in place. But in parts of the south of Ireland, we have some more clouds and a bit of light rain on the far southwest coast. And parts of southern England might see some thunderstorms and heavy showers pushing up into the evening. It's a very messy picture. Currently, the radar does show these heavy showers down towards northern France, some light patchy rain in parts of South Cork and South Kerry on those tips there, and again the system just extending some more showery rain into northern England, possibly also down into the North Midlands. Winds this morning. Again, the winds also show you quite nicely what's going on where. So, anywhere I say east and south of this boundary line here, between these stronger northerly winds and these lighter easterly winds, anywhere south and east of that today should be quite a warm feeling day. Elsewhere, a cooler day. And we'll get onto the details right now. It's quite a messy picture, so again, this map shows it matches quite nicely with the satellite imagery I just showed you. Bright spells, it's very gusty here, in parts of England and Wales, also for parts of the north and northwest. Now, over today, we'll see the cloud thinning and breaking over parts of Ireland, so most parts of Ireland will see some sunshine in quite a brisk northerly breeze. This system across northern England stays, it just lingers stubbornly through the morning. Into the afternoon, we get variable cloud and sunshine over much of England and down into parts of East Wales. Some heavy showers, though, could form along this boundary between, again, those brisker northerly winds and these lighter easterly winds there. This is the boundary between the warmer and cooler air masses. And into the evening, in general, we'll see everything shifting southwards. That means that the cooler northerly winds will win out into Sunday. So Sunday, we start off with some light patchy rain in parts of southern and southeastern England, and elsewhere, quite decently sunny for Scotland, Ireland, Northern England. A bit cloudier for a while in England. But overall, these clearer skies will push southwards through Sunday and will clear the last of the patchy rain slowly through the afternoon from eastern England, parts of Kent there. Meanwhile, however, we'll see the next area of clouds and showers pushing down from the north into Scotland tomorrow evening, and that will push through tomorrow night and into Monday. Skies are clear for many areas of Wales and England throughout the overnight period. Notice also that we'll see some of the showers turning wintry over high ground, as shown by those pink shades. So yeah, we're into quite a cold air mass by Monday with those northerly winds, especially for Scotland and northern England. But I think temperatures on Monday will be quite dismal, as you'll see in a second with our temperature forecast. So again on Monday, some showers around, northerly winds, quite chilly, but some decent sunshine as well. And as we are in May, you know, I think the sun is as strong as it is in like late July at this point, late July, early August. So it's got a real kick to it. So if you're in the sun, it won't feel that bad, even if it's technically like 12 or 13 degrees. It will not feel overly bad, to be honest. And as we go through into Tuesday, well, the story continues. We see this northwesterly airflow, quite cool air, showers and rain bands pushing through at times. Right, so we'll let that update into Wednesday and we'll cover it up to Tuesday in temperatures for now. So there we go. So we know it's going to be quite cool. A cooling trend. Today, quite warm in parts of Wales and England. So this morning, you can see again that boundary is in place. Cooler air for Scotland, parts of northern parts of Ireland, a bit less cold, milder through Wales and England, but chillier again in parts of East Anglia and East Midlands due to clearer skies. Into today, yeah, so you can see quite clearly there's a boundary in temperatures by 3 p.m, 4 p.m. So anywhere like east of, say, like Cardiff, Cardiff's there, Bristol, up to Manchester, and anywhere south of Manchester to Hull, temperatures widely high teens, possibly getting into the low 20 Celsius. This most likely in the south of the region, so anywhere from like Devon east towards Kent, home counties. Most of Wales looked a bit cooler. Mid and North Wales quite warm for South Wales. But as you go north of that, like Northern England, especially in the east of Northern England, Scotland, well, temperatures struggling in single figures. And in that northerly wind and the cloud and drizzly rain, feeling quite awful. But in the sunshine in Scotland, maybe a bit of compensation, but even for May, I think that's pretty not great. Ireland, low to mid-teens, in the sunshine. I mean, Ireland today should be quite sunny. Yeah, quite large areas of sunshine, especially in the Midlands and North. So it shouldn't feel too bad if you get some shelter from that wind. Now, overnight into Sunday, we see frosty conditions for Northern Ireland, Scotland, Northern England, as the cold air does seep its way southwards. And tomorrow Sunday, look at that, nowhere near those high teens, possibly just scraping a localised 15, 16, 17 in the sheltered areas of the south coast of England. Elsewhere, 14 or 15 at best, and that's locally. Widely, 9 to 12 or 13. Overnight, then into Monday, again, quite a cool night, especially this time for southern parts of England, as we'll see the clearest skies in that region. And Monday morning starts with some frost locally, especially in parts of, again, southern England, and again into northern Scotland, as that rain band does clear through, as shown here. Yeah, we get some clearer skies again. So Monday itself, looking again like at best 9 to 14 degrees and feeling cool, especially on the east coast of Britain. Tuesday morning starts frosty in some parts again, and we go into Tuesday. Look at this with the high res. So, oh god, we're still not there, but we'll get there. So Tuesday looks decently enough. Some showers coming through. Still quite cool, I think, as we'll see later on. Wednesday, well, we see a deepening of an area of low pressure on a jet stream that's tracking from northwest to southeast, and we see a lot of cool air with that polar maritime air mass. So showers, a lot of showers on Wednesday. You can see a rash of showers, some heavy with hail and thunder, and again some locally wintry on the higher parts of Scotland and northern England. Some hail and sleet still in the mix. And as we go to Thursday, well, we continue on with that cool polar maritime northwesterly winds. So we see the showers just keep being dragged in, and quite a cool feel. So let's progress to the end with the temperature forecast as well. So again, Tuesday, not looking that great. At best, maybe a 16 or 17 in parts of the home counties of England. And Wednesday morning and afternoon, at the very best, like 14 degrees locally. Widely about, 8 to 12. And then Thursday morning, well, looking chilly, and Thursday will be a chilly day again in those northerly winds. GFS, so GFS, we can see the pressure pattern that is resulting in today's messy setup. We have high pressure out to our northwest, near Iceland, I guess, near Iceland, that'll do. Low pressure between Iceland and Norway, and then another low west of Spain and Portugal. And we got a lot of, we're in this battleground in between, and there's a lot of influences. So, for example, in parts of England and Wales today, you will see the influence from also like this area of low pressure mainly to the south, and that will drag in some warmer air from the near continents. This ridge over parts of eastern Scandinavia also helps to drag in that continental air. This area of low pressure, though, however, near Iceland and Norway, combined with that area of high pressure, drags in the northerly wind into parts of the north and northwest. So you've got a lot of conflicting things going on, and that is some properly quite cold air. The -5 ice storm is into Scotland, but the +5 ice storm is into southern England. So yeah, we've got warm versus cold, and a messy boundary in between. But as we know, that will move southwards. Oh, that's a glitch. That's a glitch even. And as we go into tomorrow, Sunday, we'll see the high pressure to our west and the low pressure to our north winning the battle, and we'll see a northerly flow descending over all areas into Sunday and Monday. Especially cool there, I think, for the east of the UK as the -5 ice storm does go down the North Sea coast, but chilly in all areas, obviously. And then all eyes on this jet stream as it deepens this area of low pressure coming out of Greenland on Monday. The high pressure is well to our west, is helping the jet stream and the wind flow come in on the northwest to southeast alignments. And yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, very unsettled. This low plunges in, a lot of showers coming through. Northerly winds for Thursday, really quite chilly. Upper temperatures are quite cold for May. And as we go into the end of the week, well, westerly winds return, temperatures do recover, but it stays unsettled, stays rather mixed, I'd say, into the weekend. Beyond that, into the following week, well, maybe some improvements there. Next Monday and Tuesday are still quite cool and a bit showery. But Wednesday and Thursday, well, high pressure is moving in from the west. It could be a transient ridge, so let's see what happens. And then, it briefly breaks down to allow a weak front in from the west. From these deeper lows to our north, but notice as well, the jet stream is now flowing more west to east, and it's staying further north. And that allows high pressure to try and build up from the south into the final third of May. And yeah, we do get there by Friday, 2 weeks. Like, there you go. But we get there at long last with some drier and warmer weather. And that does last for quite a while. And by Monday, May 25th, we have a decent high pressure to our northeast, and that does extend a ridge through us. Look at that! So all the way from West Asia, all the way through, parts of Russia, Baltic Sea states, Eastern Europe, down through parts of Scandinavia, Northern Europe, into the UK, Ireland, down towards the Azores, and way out. Let's actually have a look at that. Northern Hemisphere view. So yeah, the ridge, again it starts like again central Western Asia, comes all the way through here and down towards the Azores, and that ridge goes all the way out towards Florida. Oh, that would be a decent end to May, but we've got a lot of unsettled weather to get through before that even becomes a possibility. Right, so here's the ECM from yesterday's 12 midday run. So we're going through again. This northerly wind does win out into Sunday, and we clear through that battleground, this mess that we have today. Monday again, quite chilly in that northerly flow, but all eyes again on that jet stream, bringing in this deepening low out of Greenland, and it plunges it southwards into Wednesday and Thursday. So chilly and showery and windy as well. So not a pleasant few days. Friday, a bit calmer with a transient ridge, but still quite chilly. I would expect a frost early and late with that, by the way. And into next weekend, well, that is worse than the GFS. It keeps the jet stream south shifted, and therefore keeps the areas of low pressure slap bang over as starboard lows, and well, there's no end to this mad May. So UK Met Run. Here we go again with the story of the boundary lines shifting southwards through Saturday and Sunday, and we all go cooler over the weekend. So by Monday we're all into this cooler northerly airflow, some quite cold air wrapped in as well over the North Sea. And then into Tuesday, Wednesday again, jet stream deepens this area of low pressure from Greenland into Iceland, down into the North Sea, combined with that ridge out to the west to drag in some notably chilly air for a while next week. And by next Friday, Saturday, we kind of stay in that pattern. That low doesn't go anywhere. It just sort of ends up milling around and filling over the Low Countries and parts of Europe, and that keeps us in a chilly, unstable northerly airflow there. Jet stream is well to our south, and that always means, at this time of year, chilly, cool and wet. So really not great. GEM. Let's see what it has to say. So far, GFS is the best. We get there in the end, but ECM and UK Met don't go. So the GFS, I think, starts to improve at the start of next week. The ECM and UK Met Run go out to like next weekend into next week, but they don't show the signs of high pressure building slightly, or the jet stream shifting northwards. They keep the onslaught going. So I believe, take the GFS with a huge pinch of salt. GEM. So GEM, once again, we go into that cooler northerly flow for a time on Monday. That's reinforced through Wednesday and Thursday with that deepening area of low pressure. Look at that. That would be a real snowmaker in January and February. Shame it's not January and February now, it's May. But yeah, we get this cool, chilly, northerly wind, quite cold feeling in Scotland, I'd imagine. Frosty by night in shelter, especially there on Friday nights when the low does fill and winds do ease. Let's see what GM does. So it keeps us slap bang under low pressure. Look at that. The jet stream is to our south. We just keep these areas of low pressure coming in from the west. Nothing doing. And yeah, again, by the start of next week, Tuesday, May 19th, by that point, the GFS is doing what? It is starting to shift that jet up north and try and ridge in some high pressure. No sign of that at all from the GEM at that exact time. So yeah, that's 3-1 for cold and wet. And here is Icon. Icon gets us up to Saturday. Saturday, I think the GFS starts to ease it off a bit as well. Let's see. So we can make a comparison. Saturday is there. Yeah, it starts to shift things a bit further northwards and try and tease the ridge towards us. So yeah, that is our marker of comparison. So here is the icon. Again, northerly winds drop through Sunday to Monday. Reinforcement again from that jet stream and area of low pressure through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We get a proper old blast from the polar regions. Yeah, so by that point, GFS shows, jet stream going more like up from here to here rather than from there to there. So therefore, icon would keep it unsettled if we could run it into the following week. Finally, the R pair, which only gets us to Wednesday, but we'll see it will happen again. So again, northerly winds drop through to Monday. This all clears through. All eyes again on the jet stream, firing up this area of low pressure, dropping it into Ireland and the UK, North Sea, Scandinavia. Look at that. Look at that proper trough of low pressure. I mean, that would be a winter wonderland dream for Northern Europe. So it would be teasing us. So anyway, we'll end on that note. But before we go, we will also look at some ensemble data. Let's see what the GFS ensembles are showing for upper air temperature for the next couple of weeks. Let's see, is that fully out? Yeah, it is fully out. We're fine. So this is the midnight run from GFS. So the red line is the average for the upper air temperatures, and each line is an individual ensemble member. There are 30 of them, and they're run with different starting patterns to show these different possible results as we go through time. Gets us to about May 24th, and let's see. So currently below average, as we know, we've been below average since about like Tuesday, Monday, and we're staying below average through 10th of May, May 11th, May 12th. This is that first northerly shot, brief bound back to average, but we plummet again below average by 13th, 14th, 15th of May. That's that second northerly push. Notice the thick bright green line here. So that's the GFS run that we've been looking at here, the operational run, and that is sort of deviating from the overall trends. Most ensembles keep things chillier around next weekend, but the GFS starts to warm things up. So I think that, it does reinforce the fact that the GFS was among, it was in the very significant minority here among all the other models that we looked through, and it definitely is also a minority among its own ensembles too. So there you go. And maybe, just maybe, by the final third of May, things trend back to average, but we often see that in these longer range graphs. So there's often the trend back towards average from either warm or cold by about 10 days out. So I think that's just the model deviating back to the average for the time of year, unfortunately. So there's nothing reliable to be gained from that. What we do know is that it's staying cool and settled, showery, quite breezy, quite a letdown after quite a decent April, I believe. But I know that a lot of us, not everyone likes the heat. Some need the rain, especially the gardeners and growers. And also, the heat just isn't everyone's, not everyone's a fan of the heat. It can be uncomfortable. But after a winter so miserable as the one we've just had, I hope that the summer does deliver, some decent spells. Come on. Everyone, thanks for watching. I will see you later. Bye for now.